Good morning, sunshine. This is the final chapter of my photo story called 10 Years Gone, which began in January with a trip to Lawrenceville and Carrollton. I continue to play catch-up with colleagues and mentor at Walker Mountain Elementary School. Heh, that's the day we got to dissect sharks. On January the 4th, I celebrated my 64th birthday, and on January the 10th, we all got to go out and play in the snow. Some of the icicles got so heavy up here in the Queendom that a few limbs broke off. Grace sent us pictures of Penny out in it, while my kitties kept an eye on the little birdies down there. I'm telling you, the 10 years past retirement have been awesome. Until dum-dum-dum, I have a very convincing withdrawal dream and wake up in a cold, cold sweat, feeling like I need to do something about it. Like go back to central office and prove that I went back to work each year after retirement.
You should look at what everybody's watching.
All right, now we can proceed forward. Over the last 10 years, I've had about 10 withdrawal dreams, with me teaching in a variety of settings, from Hogwarts to Oak Mountain's Folds house, where the settings were always fantastical. And a piece of dust on the
lens.
Yeah.
How do you know it's a water bear?
Because I studied water bears.
Oh.
In each of these teaching withdrawal dreams, I seem to be losing or breaking things, or cleaning up someone else's messes. On May the 6th, at 2:30 in the morning, I turned on a night light and I wrote down the latest, maybe the last, withdrawal dream. You see, after 10 years of not knowing why I was forced out 80 days early, I dreamed up the perfect answer. All the way down? Wow. You are something else a little bit. And that's what inspired me to write this last episode of 10 Years Gone. It's all about 2025. 2025 is turning out to be as big a turning point year in my life as 2015 was. On Valentine's Day, we took my friend Jim Leach out for his last joyride down at the farm. We celebrated a bunch of birthdays, both earthly and heavenly. We lost our beloved Sweet Acre Farms winery. We photographed flowers with friends in gardens all over Georgia. I enlarged several of the gardens in the Queendom. I worked on a photo album for Lloyd's birthday of Nancy growing up. And I took a walk on the beach with Penny during our Wrightsville Paris River meeting. Oh, you like the sand? You like the sand? Oh, sand. It's warm. Look at this. Penny discovered what sandspur grass in your footy feels like. This year, I made several special presentations. Here we are. We haven't had a widow's walk in a while. Penny had a good nap. Hi. Hi, Sweetkins.
Yes, you know her. That's
And there's our view
Cece. She's trying.
of the Atlantic Ocean. And listen to those birds over there chatting up, man. Oh, it sounds like a song sparrow. There it goes.
That's the Atlantic Ocean.
This is my new Jimmy Beach. We stayed at the guest house on Weiss Lake. Oh my word. This is a drop of Weiss Lake water that I collected early last week. And there's a water bear. I also saw a planarian. For St. Patrick's Day, we went back down to the King and Prince and stayed on St. Simon's Island and visited with friends we haven't seen, like Krista and some of Nancy and Gary's friends. I found some old family photos and shared them and photoshopped for fun, you know. Some mating going on there. Look at the shadows. Ha 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 ha. Rainbows on days when the sun shone brightly. And both my Sonys were in full use, even though the old one has dust bunnies in the lens. Here we are together at Sweetacre Farmhouse, celebrating the lives that our children are bringing into this world. And Cece, capturing video frames of it all, so I can draw in the future. This was the weekend I kissed my daddy goodbye. We saw him in Carrollton on a Thursday, before we spent the night at the farm and drove to Jacksonville to Jim Leach's memorial service. Grace drove Penny and me, while Newsom drove Grant and Chesney. After that, we went to the King and Prince and stayed on St. Simon's Island, where we danced, made new friends in the kiddie pool and went under for the first time, and enjoyed some fine food at Fiddler's. Oh, and played Toss the Baby. Sunday morning, before heading home, I sent this picture to my mama. We broke ground on the party pond April the 8th, 2025. Ridgewater Pools. In 2015, I had a retirement party. In 2025, I'm going to have a party pool. And in the meantime, I've been memorializing. I love finding hydras. Reminds me of all those special boys in the classroom who could find things for me. Many of them had first name Cody. I've been collecting and transplanting live things to the queendom. Get down. Found a water bear. I did. And rescuing, photoshopping, and documenting the time-space continuum that exists here in the queendom, where nature is nurtured every step of the way. At the very end of March, we took a picnic lunch and watched the Midi races at Road Atlanta. where I recorded a tailed blue and the Doppler effect. Yeah, I spent a great deal of time in April and May tending to the gardens, keeping my critters well fed. I had to remove a wren nest from the excavator. I grew some poppies while documenting pool progress and helping Grant and Chesney over at their place. I enlarged Hawthorne Hill in order for Newsom to mow more easily. And I got to play catch-up with my childhood friend Lydia. And there we are.